Is James
All right, it's
with
on,
us?
Mindy. You don't have to worry about it anymore.
There you go.
Thank you.
James, are you on?
7 o'clock.
All right, James and Jason.
Is James not on there?
I don't know. See one of those phone numbers.
I think he's one of those phone numbers. Let me see if I can see, Mayor. I'll look on my telephone.
Mayor, tell French to turn his camera on.
No.
He won't do it. I've tried to get him and Judy both.
Oh,
They just won't do it.
no, not gonna do that.
Can I ask, the number is 628-1555. Who is that?
That's me, Richard.
Oh, Richard. Okay.
Okay, Richard.
Ooh, the birds sound nice.
John Davis said he was doing it outside today, so that's probably him.
Yeah, I'm outside, so it's probably me.
So Judy, are you
I
on
did
an
tell-
iPad and a phone?
Am I what?
Are
Am I
you
what?
on? I was wondering if you were both on an iPad and a phone, but you're just on your iPad, right?
Yeah, I'm just
Yes.
on my iPad.
Okay, who's 465-9066?
That's me.
That's Sandra.
Okay, that's Sandra. Okay.
And then
Just
mail,
trying to-
that is, that's Carolyn.
Okay, so the
It just says
Falcon
mail.
is here.
on it. Pardon me?
The Falcon is here, and so 1555, who?
That's me, Richard.
That's Richard
That's
Hudson.
Richard. All right, I'll get this straight in a minute. And then we've got a 3243.
Lofties.
Okay, good. All right, so we're only missing Jason.
Jason.
Okay, so it's after 7 o'clock. We'll go ahead and get started. We'll call the meeting to order. And you can see at the top of your agenda the statement about having this meeting without a physical presence anywhere, that it's online. And this is permitted under the governor's order, which he has extended until June 30, 2020. The opening prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance, if we could have who would like to volunteer to give the opening prayer? Bob?
Me or James?
Well, I don't hear you.
Let
You wanna do
James.
it, James?
Heavenly Father. Okay.
All right.
Heavenly Father, we ask that you would bless us this afternoon as we come together to take care of the business of Township of Somerville. Dear Heavenly Father, we pray that you would guide us and that we will make unbiased decision and the decision that we make. In your Son, Jesus Christ's name, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge of Allegiance. If everyone would, we don't have a flag, but if everyone would join in, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag,
To the flag.
United
United
States of
States of
America,
United States of America.
And to the republic
for which it stands,
for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible,
with
justice
liberty
for all.
and justice for all.
Oh,
I'm glad we weren't
Well,
singing the
I
chorus
think we
there.
need
We'd
to
be in
try-
trouble.
I was fixing to say, we don't need to do any music if that's the best we can do in that. I think it would
Well,
be
let's sing a song.
recognizable. Okay, next item of business is approval of the board minutes from April the 13th and the workshop from May the 5th. You have those in your packet. There is a correction that needs to be made in the April 13 board meeting on page 2. Somebody just got off typing and it says, it's supposed to say all voted aye, but it says A : scrolling down.
Yeah, I think
Right.
my finger was off one space there.
Well, it was.
The semicolon is right next to the L.
Spell check would catch that.
If I was looking at it, yeah, probably would.
Well, if you ran spell check, it would. But are there any other additions or corrections to the minutes? Then the minutes stand approved. I always forget which screen I'm on here. Comments from the community. Is there anyone who would like to address the board tonight?
Mayor, we do have 2 guests on here that I know of. Chip Cherry from Summit Roofing and Chris Freeze from Champion Roofing.
Okay,
When we get to that point in the agenda.
okay. If there are no comments from
Hello?
the
Yeah.
community, we'll move. Go ahead. Okay, mayor's comments. The only thing I have is that the governor has extended the ability to meet by electronic means through June the 30th. So I don't know that we have to decide tonight, but I think we can wait and see what's going on later this month and decide whether we want to try to get back together in June in person or whether we want to continue to meet online like we're doing now. But I think we have plenty of time to make that decision before our next meeting. As far as I know, Bob, does it appear that most people, most businesses in town are complying with the governor's guidelines as far as being open?
Well, I can tell you when I go shopping, it looks like they're complying without a problem. But I usually go first thing in the morning.
Okay, has the chief checked on any of that? Do you know?
Not that I know of,
Okay.
but he is out of town today, or he'll be out till Thursday. So I can check with him when he gets back.
Well, if you could check with Harlan or whoever and see if the police can kind of, I'm not saying do anything, but at least look at that situation and see if they think people are complying. And if they are not complying, then there wouldn't be anything wrong with giving them copies of the guidelines.
Yes, sir.
And
In
I
reality,
have,
go ahead. Sorry, Judy, go ahead.
Mindy?
I'm sorry. I have noticed that the restaurants that I've seen are complying with the 50% capacity.
Okay. The next item is, well, let's just go down. If we've got 2 guests waiting on 7.5, if no one objects, we'll just move to 7.5. Midland Building Roofing Project.
Okay. Yes, we had the bid opening on Thursday at 11 o'clock, and we had several people here from several different companies. We actually put out 8 bid packets, received 5 different companies receiving bids from them. Champion bid 2 different types of roofing. Everybody else kind of bid 1 different type of roofing. Most of the bids were TPO. We did have 1 polyurethane spray foam roofing and 1 metal roofing, which was from Champion. Everybody else was TPO. So we can kind of decide if we want to do polyurethane or metal or TPO. And Jeep is here to talk about it just in case you want another voice. But Jeep, you want to talk about it a little bit, just to let them know what you think about the 3 different types of roof there.
In this particular case, hello everyone. In this particular case, on this building, it's the old electrical building, which you're all familiar with. it's been a while since we've done anything to that building, and the roof itself is in some, it's needs work. I don't think that the metal is a good option for this particular roof. The spray roofing looks good, but I think the TPO thermoplastic polyethylene rubber roofing is our best option, and we got a really good price on it. That includes insulation, roofing, all wood repair, deck repair, total tear off, and also putting the coping back. It was very, very competitive. And based on the bids and each company's specs, I and Bob are leaning towards Champion because of they're using a 60 mil roof and giving us 5 more years on a warranty. Summit was very close, but the difference was, like I said, 5 years on their warranty less, and also they were using a 45 mil TPO, which was a little thinner, and that's the difference. It was that close. So I'm leaning towards Champion with the TPO roof at $27,364.
In addition, Summit also gave us a bid without replacing the coping, and that's what that $24,985 is. But I feel like to take that old coping off and try to use that terracotta is probably not advisable. So they had included a price additionally to replace the coping with a metal coping, galvanized metal coping. That's what that second price is. I took their price that they gave me, and I think it was around $2,400, $2,350 looks like. And added it to that to make a kind of as much of an apples to apples comparison as we could get between the TPO from Champion and the TPO from Summit.
Okay. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to accept the Champion roofing at $27,364 as recommended by the staff. Is there any discussion?
Mayor, Mike French, how many square feet is that roof?
I don't know how many square feet it is. You remember? I don't know off the top of my head, Mike. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't know why, but 2,500 feet comes to my mind.
It's very close to that, Mayor. Yes, sir.
But I have no idea if that's correct or not. And I don't know where I got that.
That's right. If you add walls, it's another 300 square feet.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Are there any other questions or comments?
Who made the second, Mayor? I didn't hear it.
Lofty.
Okay, thank you, James.
All right, so we have a motion and a second to accept the bid from Champion Roofing for the TPO at $27,364. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously with all voting aye to accept the Champion Roofing bid.
So, Chris, I will prepare that contract and get that ready for you. And as soon as I have the contract ready, I will call you up or write you an email and get this thing going.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and we look forward to doing business with you.
And don't forget, we have probably 2 more roofing projects in next year's budget.
I look forward to it.
Yes, sir.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all for
Yeah, and
bidding.
thank y'all for having us too.
Yeah.
Look forward to more.
Yes.
Sorry I couldn't hear earlier. So,
Good bidding, Chip.
yeah, thank you very much.
Good job on that. Good one.
Thank you, guys.
thank you all, and we certainly would hope you would bid these other projects that will be coming up.
Oh, definitely.
Sure. Thank you.
And don't think you have to leave or anything. You're certainly welcome to stay for the rest of this meeting.
Nobody takes us up on that, Mayor.
Well, I know, but maybe they will.
I don't know why we're so much fun.
I think one of them just left for sure.
I guess he didn't like it.
Sir?
All right, we will go back to item 7.1, proprietary purchase of 101 gas meters.
Yeah, Mayor. So at the meeting last time, you asked me what the difference was. And so I went back and looked at the last purchase, which was in December of 19. And we purchased the same quantity of everything for $16,723.58, which is a little bit higher, a little bit more than $500 higher than where we are right now. So, you know, it depends on I guess how the prices flow, but you can see how every one of them was just a little different. The loops went up and the meters went down and the regulators went down. So it all worked out. We saved about $500 of what we paid last time.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the purchase of the 101 gas meters?
So moved.
Okay, Judy has moved. Is there a second?
I second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the purchase of the gas meters. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes unanimously. 7.2, a motion to discontinue the rent on the Fair Theater until they are allowed to reopen. They currently pay us $300 a month. They, of course, have not been able to operate that business. They're requesting some relief from the rent. Is there a motion to allow this?
So moved.
Okay, Judy has moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's seconded by Alderman Vice Mayor Myers. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. If, Bob, if you would get with them and let's get that figured out, please.
Yes, sir.
7.3, a motion to approve Resolution 11-2020, a resolution establishing the City Hall rental agreement for fiscal year 2021. That resolution shows the amounts of the rent. Is there any is there a motion to approve this resolution?
I move.
I'll second it.
Okay, it was moved by Alderman Lofty, seconded by Alderman French. Is there any discussion?
So, Mayor, we were talking about adding that extra server stuff in there from ATA, and I have not been able to put enough information together to warrant sticking that amount into this resolution. So I just presented the original resolution as I would have presented it without that additional cost from those additional services that we talked about. I'm going to continue to work on that though, and see if I can get enough information to at least determine whether we should be doing that or not.
Okay, well, we can always amend the resolution.
Yes, sir.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next item of business is the ordinance 2020-003, first reading on the 2021 budget. Now, there will be some adjustments in this for the next meeting, I'm fairly sure. We're trying to look at some of those property taxes that are in there and try to get that nailed down a little bit better.
Yes,
But,
we're working on that right now, Mayor.
But for the most part, the rest of it, I don't know of anything right offhand that would change other than that. Of course, that will probably, there'll probably be a slight decrease in property taxes total when you consider all the property taxes and all the delinquent taxes and that sort of thing. But it should be a minor decrease. Are there any, setting the tax rate again at 68.02? Are there any questions about the budget on first reading? If not, is there a motion to approve ordinance 20-003 first reading on the budget?
So moved.
Been
I'll
moved by
second.
moved by Alderman Myers, second by Alderman McCarty. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
We have two additional agenda items there, Mayor. Well, when we get past the unfinished business, sorry.
Well, we have unfinished business, and then we do not have, do we have any unfinished business?
No.
New business? I don't have anything on my agenda. Is there?
Oh, sorry, I sent you the agenda earlier today, but so I'll tell you what it is. The first one is to consider the lease renewal with Delta Human Resources. I'm going to put that up on the screen. Tom is here to discuss it. Hang on a second. I'm looking for it. Tom reviewed this lease. Tom, you want to talk about it?
Well, I mean, it's very similar to the one that was already in place. I just added some additional language to the 7th paragraph that I think is probably something that needed to be addressed about the renewals. I think Skip had something in there that allowed for renewals, but this just makes it a little bit more clear, in my opinion, at least, that the lease can be renewed, but there has to be notice provisions, and that the lease can be terminated by the lessee, but there needs to be notice provisions. 60 days is what I put in there, which I think is reasonable. And there was nothing in there about whether the rent would change throughout the course of renewal periods. I mean, if this went on for a number of years, there might be the need to renegotiate the lease up or down. So I just added a new paragraph 8 that addressed that. So with those changes, I think that it's something that I would recommend to the board.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the lease with Delta Human Resource Agency?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the lease with Delta Human Resource Agency. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, are all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Vote is unanimous to approve the lease. And then there's another item.
Yes, sir. You wanted to discuss the rezoning of that property out there, if we need to get that thing going, because I know we've been putting it off, but if we're going to have another month of Zoom meetings, I think we talked about maybe getting this moving forward, at least on the first reading in June, and then maybe the second second reading in July.
Okay, and we have to have the public hearing before the final
Second.
reading.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's schedule that then for first reading next month.
Okay.
This is the property that is located next to Rickman Motors out on Highway 64, the old veterinarian clinic that's now the auto dealer. The owner of that, who also owns Rehab World in Oakland and owns the building across the street from City Hall, has requested that that property be rezoned to limited business. It went to the Planning Commission, which did recommend approval, but because of not being able to have a physical meeting, we had decided to hold off on it, hoping that at some point we could actually have a physical meeting so that we could have the public hearing, but we may just have to move on with holding a public hearing electronically. It will just depend on what we need to do at that. Well, if we wait till July, we can actually have the public meeting if we have to have a physical meeting.
So in, UT Martin Somerville is still closed at the moment there. So even if we had moved, a meeting in June, we would not be able to have it out there. We'd have to have it here at City Hall. And I don't know about July at this point.
Okay. Is there anything else to come before the board?
Yeah.
If not, we will stand adjourned. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See y'all.
Okay.
Hey, Bob,
Yeah.
what's that design review meeting tomorrow night?
Okay. So all my design review guys canceled out on me. So we're going to have a workshop with just the table of uses, Judy.
Tomorrow night?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I just realized I was dialed in on the, on the wrong, me or Walter's line. Sorry.
Well, thanks for coming, Richard.
Yeah. I guess you'll strike that second.
Yeah, well, tomorrow's the other meeting, and then right now we already have something scheduled for BZA on the 26th, which I just got today. So anyway, so there will be a meeting on the 26th also.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Yep.
See
Thank
y'all
you.
later.
Thank you.
Hey.
Right. I'm going to end it. No post-meeting discussions on these things.